The goal here to get workers out on the track to do the work that would regularly require 3 years to have them completed in just 12 months. For riders on all 6 rail lines, for the next year, service will either slow way down or come to a halt at select stations for a major metro overhaul.
This is a massive undertaking. There's no doubt about it. Internally, we've been talking about it. It's like a military operation.
The first of 15 so-called safety surges starts June 4th on the Blue Line. Each one of the projects will either require around-the-clock single tracking or station shutdowns. The largest number of riders will be impacted in October when Red Line service will be shut down between Noma and Fort Totten for 23 days.
I understand that inconvenience, but I understand more of their safety on the trip.
The major disruption will give workers 24-hour access to the rails to replace sections of track, replace insulators, clear drains, or mitigate ongoing tunnel leak problems. While the level of service will dramatically dip, the prices will not. Peak fares will still be in place.
Whether or not we can now cut back on fares, given the financial needs of the system, we'll have to take a look at, because that is a challenge.
And a heads up, the last weekend in May will be the last weekend of extended weekend service. So weekend trains will stop running June 3rd at midnight. That will continue throughout all of this as well. One thing is for sure, too, it's going to impact this commuters out on the road as well. So the general manager has reached out to all of the local jurisdictions to see what they can do to help try and mitigate what is certainly going to be a commuting chaos in terms of areas around our region for a year. Reporting live, Brianne Carter, ABC 7 News.
Okay, Brianne. So while every commuter will feel the effects of the metro work, 2 stations in particular will really feel the sting: Fort Totten and Roslyn. Richard Reeve continues our coverage with how riders at these stations are now reacting.
Well, the biggest impacts for riders will be the closures. Here at Roslyn, they will be shut down completely for 18 days in December. At Fort Totten, 23 days in October, and riders are not too happy. From Roslyn to Fort Totten.
Ooh, it's gonna be something. It's a little intense.
You can hear the sounds of safe track shock.
Wow, how am I going to get to work?
Metro's track work plan calls for 5 stations to close, some for weeks. National Airport to Braddock Road from July 5th to the 12th. Pentagon City to National Airport from July 12th to the 19th. Eastern Market to Minnesota Avenue from August 20th to September 6th. Noma to Fort Totten from October 9th to November 2nd. And in Roslyn, from December 6th to the 24th.
It's definitely really inconvenient because this is like the most fastest way for me to get to work besides taking 3 buses.
The Safe Track plan will shut down all stations system-wide at midnight, 7 days a week, starting June 3rd.
The last time they shut down the metro station, like, people had to miss 3-4 buses just to get on a bus that had space.
10 stations will undergo continuous single tracking. Now, some riders point out that buses don't carry nearly as many people as trains, but for some, there is relief that something is being done.
They neglected a lot of the repairs, and they should be held accountable for that. But on the other hand, I would rather be safe.
So for most riders, buses will be the way to go, but a lot of folks telling us they are not looking forward to this. In Roslyn, Richard Reeve, ABC 7 News.
Well, of course, it goes without saying the plan to rebuild the metro system is a complex one. GM Paul Wiedefeld compared it, in fact, to a military operation. We have the complete plan for you to read for yourself right now on our website, WJLA.com.
And should let you know, unrelated to that project is this weekend's work on the metro. You see it on your screen. I'll take my time because there's a lot to see there. The biggest disruption will be on the Orange Line. That's where buses will replace trains between Stadium Armory and Minnesota Ave. That will also affect the Blue Line from Stadium Armory to Benning Road. Green Line trains will only run once every 24 minutes. Other lines will see delays because of single tracking that'll be going on.
Still ahead right here, we're going to return to the breaking news of the day. A man in custody accused of a deadly shooting spree. We're going to take you to our Jennifer Donnellan. She was where that suspect had his final meal inside this restaurant here before being captured. She's talking to a witness there. It's the same place, believe it or not. 2 other high